Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranashchakshushrotramado Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakaro Anirakaranamastvanirakaranam me astu Tadatmani nirate ya upanishatsu dharmaha te mayi santu Om Shant Shant Shanti. Gently with a few blinks you shall open your eyes. In continuation with the previous shloka, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Ubhayorapi drishtontaha, tvanayos. We understood that what we perceive as sensory information is unreal. What the mind conceives as an idea or a fact is unreal. And that experiential existence alone is the substantial truth. So while talking about that, it came to my mind that perhaps my description of the words, are they wrong? Or the grasping ears, the grasping minds, trying to comprehend the fact are wrong. We are trying to know the truth, but how? Through our sense organ ear. We try to comprehend with our intellect. When I say that itself is untrue, what are we doing here? Have they all got that fact? Later, after having a conversation with a participant, I got to know perhaps the delivery is wrong. And hence, Ramana Bhagavan used to have this powerful weapon as teaching, that is silence. Only silence can emanate the Atma Bodha, the inner silence. Why? Why do I say so? This is Upanishad mantra which says, describing about Brahman, describing about self, saying that Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyate Vachoha Vacham Saupranasya Pranaha Chakshushya Chakshuhu. And it goes on. The declaration of Kenopanishad is, O aspirant, how can you hear the self's words, the words of the self, with your ear? Because it is the hearing power of the hearing power. How can you perceive the self, which is formless of all forms? Because it's the power of eyesight, Same with prana. Same with manas, mind. Apparam Pathakalu. Same with prana. How can you enjoy the activities of prana or manipulate prana? Because by assessing prana, if you're trying to comprehend self, you can't. Because it is the prana shakti of prana. Now, with our limited intellect, we are trying to conceive the truth. With our limited powers of sense organs, we are trying to get the information about truth. So what is to be done? Why are we listening? What is the purpose of Shravana here? Only surrender. I do not know the truth. Knowing that is the highest form of sadhana. That itself, Upanishad itself speaks about it. A sadhaka who knows that he doesn't know anything about self, about the truth, knows a bit. A sadhaka who understands that he had understood self has understood nothing. When truth is existential, experience of existence, which is the basis of dream, waking, and sushuptavastha and deep sleep states, how can you infer that basis of sushupta state? How do you infer that? Inference is impossible. Pratibodha viditam matam. Ken Upanishad says, only through the words of Guru you get to know. Only with the grace of the spiritual master you get to understand this. Who is the spiritual master? Where is he? Tivra samveganam asannaha, says Patanjali. Samadhi is close to the aspirant whose aspiration for samadhi is intense. Aspire for the greatest spiritual master. Keep aspiring. And then he comes near. That's the only thing that we can do. Ramana is gone. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda is gone. They are not flesh and blood here. Okay. You know their tenets. You get to read their principles, their charitra, their history, their teachings, their contributions. Delve in that. When Aurobindo can see Krishna flesh and blood in the prison, that is Sakshatkara, right? When Aurobindo can imbibe spiritual master of Gita and he can see him, we can also do. Until then, is it this or that? Is it this or that? It is not what we call in Tamil as Pattimandram. We have this usual platforms where there are pot topics are being debated. My mom is by my side and then giving keywords for me. So you can't just debate upon. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Jnanam is dawned upon a person, one whose shraddha is intense, one whose more than faith, dedication, belief, and more than that, incorporation of those beliefs is Shraddha. Why am I giving a prelude to the I had to start the next shloka. Why am I giving this prelude? Because the conversation after the session made me realize perhaps the delivery itself is wrong. Perhaps my delivery is wrong. And I want to apologize for that. Don't intellectualize. Please don't intellectualize. I know, Auntie, you have come now as this is your first session. I'll finish off within 45-50 minutes, and there would be a question and answer session later on. 2.17, that is what we're going to see now. Avinashi tu tad vidhi. Avinashi tu tad vidhi. Yena sarvamidam tatam. Yena sarvamidam tatam. Vinashamavyayasyasya. Vinashamavyayasyasya. Na kaschit kartumarhati. Na kaschit kartumarhati. Krishna is again giving this powerful statement. The 3 words is enough. When your body is giving all the troubles to you, when your mind is giving all the troubles to you, when the people around, the circumstances giving all the misery to you, make you more miserable, worrying, doubtful, cynical, pathetic, what do you have to do the japa of? Avinashi tu tatvidhi. Know that you are imperishable. I am imperishable. I am imperishable. I am deathless. I am deathless. Avinashi tu tatvidhi. Okay. After knowing, yena sarvamidam tatam. Don't identify something inside your inner being to be the imperishable one. Otherwise, you will be the most egoistic fellow like Rakshasa, like a demon, like Ravana. I'm the king, I'm the maker, I'm the creator. That comes up. Yena sarvamidam tatam. Everything in this universe is made of that basic fabric. Upanishad says, just like the thread in the cloth. Do you see any thread there? Physically, no. But in the cloth, in the 1,000 meters of satin cloth, it is the thread which had made that manifestation cloth, right? The satin cloth is pink, it's golden, with different names, forms, characteristics. But the basic fabric is the thread. Just as the thread pervades all over the cloth manifestation, Brahman, the reality, the ultimate truth, is the basic fabric from which the entire universe is made. Animate, inanimate, everything. So, do you see everywhere? Do you have to run from nook and corner to North Pole, from North Pole to South Pole to see where Lord Almighty is, where Brahman is, where this ultimate reality is? Although it is the essential, sorry, I'm using the word intentionally, it, because there's no gender there. There's no gender there. There's no specification. You can't specify an absolute. Yeah. So, to identify it, to identify it, you don't have to go out, but go inwards and find out the center, get aligned with the center. Then there is vision, and then there is right perspective. Yena sarvamidam tatu. Vinasham api avyayasya nakashyat kartumarvasi. It's never destructible. We'll take the same example Shrimad Bhagavatam gives. Yatha bhinne ghatakashe akashasyat yatha pura. When the pot is broken, does the inner space broken? Ghatakasha is broken. The space inside the pot is broken, is it? No. What happens to it? What happens to it? After the pot is completely sand to sand, dirt to dirt, there's no inside outside. Then you realize, yes, there's no difference between Ghatakasha and Akasha. Space inside pot and space outside. So death happens only to bodies. Death happens to your mind. Here I have to definitely speak about the term, what we usually talk about and discuss about is Jivatman, the soul. If you had an opportunity of seeing Bollywood films, you would see, okay, this is unique formula, which is a pattern that you see in every Indian film. So there is a beautiful couple, very loving, endearing, and something happens, there's an accident, the woman dies, and the man aches for her death, and then that white form of the woman comes back and talks, not only talks, sings a song. And it's a duet. While discussing about spirituality, any logic of Indic wisdom, the truth is never the soul that takes the white form. It's just Jivatman. It's changing. It destroys. It takes one form to another. It's just an account balance carried forward. If you're an accountant or an accountancy student, you know what is it. Bringing down and carried forward. A soul is never imperishable. It destroys. It takes another form. We are not talking about soul here. We're talking about existence. What is that which is remaining when you are in deep sleep? Question yourself. Don't answer. If you intellectualize, you're never there. That's a disclaimer that I've already given. Huh? What is that which remains in Sushuptavastha? Is there body? Is there mind? If there is mind, then how is Gandhari, the mother of 101 even after the death of 101 sons, could sleep peacefully? Where is misery there? Where is mind there? All miseries, all inhibitions of mind, even mind itself, body itself, dissolves to exist there. But the only flavor of existence, the only bodha, awareness of existence remains. That is Swarupa, that is Atman, that is Brahman, that is Atma Bodha, that is Swarupa, that is your real nature, that is what you are made of, that is what everything is made of, that is imperishable. Again, don't get conclusive information. If that is conclusive, you know you're on the wrong path. It has to be experienced. Because when it is the power of speech, how can I deliver and describe it with words? When it is the power behind your hearing ability, how can you hear and comprehend that? It is like the electricity. Yeah. You should come to India for understanding what is power cutoff. Okay. So when the power is off, everything stands still. You get to do nothing. There's no light, there is no air, there's no air in the sense we get from the fan, that's fans that we use. And it's so humid. But do you see power? Do you see the electricity? You just could feel the presence of it. It is like the electricity in our houses. Putting into lame examples. Vinasham avyayasyasa. It cannot be destroyed. Avyayaha. It is the unmanifested. It is the unmanifested. What is manifestation? That which has a name, a form, a characteristic, a guna, a quality. Like, for example, Cleopatra, Queen Cleopatra is beautiful. Yeah, you understand the statement. How do you comprehend beauty? Hence the statement, beauty is truth and truth beauty. That which is absolute, discover that in you. That is imperishable. That is unmanifested. Na kaschit kartumarhasi. Lots and lots and lots of nuclear power atom bombs cannot extinguish this. Cannot. Like breaking the Gatakasha, breaking the space of the pot inside. The only problem that we humans have is not knowing how to share true love with our fellow beings. It can be our relatives, it can be our friends, it can be anyone. True love is shared only with this perspective of seeing one in all and all in one. Seeing the same imperishable electricity inside oneself and in others. Rather, what do? He is my son. He has to follow these principles. How can he go out of my genes? My genetic material is this. My category, my class is this. Or something so basic like, how can a human be wrong like this? All distinctions of right and wrong occurs to a fickle mind. Please, please try to understand me carefully. Just have some more patience with me. I'm not saying adharma is right, non-righteousness is right. But just answer this question internally. What is our frame of right and wrong? When you see that in depth, that which constitutes my class, my category, what sort of values I've been brought up with is always right. That is away from my list of priorities. What I believe to be right as becomes wrong. Our perception of right and wrong is the basis of what I call as ego. Instead, what is dharma and adharma? Universal welfare should be the basis of right and wrong. If it is right for 20 people and wrong for 2000, what you do is not right. It's the basic thing. So, seeing oneself in those 2000 people. Now, do you understand? Vedanta is never adharmic. Cannot be adharmic. Hence, drop off all the conditions that we have in our mind. We should. And try to transcend all these conditions. Edadannamayamaatmanamupasangramya edadan manomayamaatmanamupasangramya edad prananmayamaatmanamupasangramya edad vijnanamayamaatmanamupasangramya etat anandamayamaatmanamupasangramya. Transcend even Ananda. Anandamaya Kosha says Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad. How to transcend gunas? How can one transcend qualities? How can one transcend from manifestations to absolute? Two simple things. Two simple things. Will you follow? If we follow, then nothing like that. Adi Shankaracharya says, be devoid of kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam. Abandon doership, abandon enjoyership. Oh, it is as if committing suicide. Is it equivalent to killing oneself? No, no. Discharging all the duties that we are supposed to do, but with that attitude, core attitude of I do nothing. I am not the doer. Whatever that is being gained has to be spread over. I don't enjoy. Kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, doership and enjoyership is these two sides of same coin is the nourisher of your ego. When you drop off that, the small framed attitude of seeing oneself in this name, Lalita, body, female, form, teacher, will go. Will vanish. And then we get completely absorbed, like that big crystal of salt getting dissolved without any name, form in the ocean waters. Huh? It was big, it was huge. But when it's dropped into the ocean of bliss, into that ocean of existence, all names and forms have gone dissolved. It dissolves into absolute. I'll take one more shloka and then we'll take questions. Antavanta ime dehaha Antavanta ime dehaha Nityasyoktah sharirinaha Nityasyoktah sharirinaha Anashino aprameyasya Anashino aprameyasya Tasmadhyudhyasva bharata Tasmad yudhyasva bharata Antavanta ime deha. While talking about bodies, Krishna is using plural form, Bahuvachana, Parasmai Pada. While talking about self, he is using Ekavachana, singular. Antavanta ime dehaha. All these bodies are supposed to die, supposed to end. Prahlada is saying, Prahlada is a great bhakta, is a devotee of Vishnu. He says, is 5-year-old kid, okay, this 5-year-old kid is saying, body is the storehouse of all roga, all diseases. It has to end. One disease you manage, it will come, next will come. Next you manage, the third will come. This is how it has to be. It is like, why is water fluid? It's like asking, why is water fluid? It's like asking, why is plastic human made? It's the essential characteristic. Bodies have to end. Antavanta ime deha. Anityaha ayuktaha sharirinaha. They are not, they're transient. They are not permanent. They're transient. Why transient? Because today I am Lalita, I'm speaking to you. When that body is dropped, I might be something else. I might be an alligator. I might be a bird. So you never know. Bodies, forget from one body to another. You see yourself 20 years ago. This Google memories will replenish our memories and make us more bitter. Feel bitter. Oh my God, 15 years ago, I was looking so young. Huh? Doesn't our body change? Forget body. The mind that you have in this body. I don't know whether it's inside or elsewhere. Never it is in one place. Doesn't it change? What was the topmost priority in your 10-20s? Is it the same? Forget 20s. What was most important 3 years ago? The most unimportant thing now. What was near to impossible 6 months ago? We are doing it. So it is not only deha, it's not only bodies that Krishna is saying. It's the entire composure that we are thinking us to be. Body, mind, sense organs, intellect, chitta, memory, ahankara, egotism, everything. The entire body-mind continuum he's talking about. Anashinaha aprameyasya. But there is an indweller. Here in this ever-changing body, always cheating mind, ever fluttering intellect, there is an indweller. Who is he? Vishvam Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhutabhavyaha Bhavat Prabhu, says Vishnu Sahasranama. This indweller is the all-pervader. Is omnipresent. He is Vishnu. Why is Vishnu? Vishnu is not, Vishnu to me is the one who has the Tripundra on his forehead. He has Shankha and Chakra, the conch, and the chakra in his hands. He is the Lord of Hindus. What does word Vishnu refer to? The Almighty who is all-pervading. What do you see everywhere? The unchanging truth. I love to see him with the Tripunda and Shankha Chakra. I love to see him as Rama. I love to see him as Krishna. I listen to his stories as Rama and then get imbibed in his character, in his divine characters. That is my own circle of worshipping that all-pervading. But what is the essential worship? Seeing Vishnu everywhere. Thakur says Narayana is everywhere. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says Narayana is everywhere. Even it is Tiger Narayana. Even it is Lalita Narayana, it is Niko Narayana, it is Kamini Narayana. But don't go near Tiger Narayana. That's his own way of funnily telling people stories. The essential worship should be worship the all-pervading. He is being nasty to me. How can I worship Narayana in him? That's your test. That's your examination. That's why you got this opportunity called life, Lalita. You never know what happens next life. You will not be provided with the same opportunities. Three things are very, very rare, Adi Shankara says. Manushyatvam, mumukshatvam, mahapurusha samshayatvam. Human being human, having the inspiration to attain emancipation, and even having those tendencies, certain people have no good company of satsanga, of swadhyaya, of wise, spiritually elderly people. That company is lost. Think of all the others in the entire Europe. They are humans. All the others other than, with subject view of this particular session, think about all the others who hadn't attended. Okay. They're all humans. They have no aspiration, They have no spiritual company. How do you feel yourself? Don't feel about them. How do you feel yourself? You feel yourself to be fortunate. If you feel yourself to be fortunate, incorporate. Administer these principles. Because this is the rarest opportunity that you've got. All three put together. Okay, sorry for being digressed. Anashinaha. Self is immutable. It cannot perish at all, come what may. Oh, there would be apocalypse, there would be Kali Yuga ending. Even after the apocalypse, one thing never changes, that is existence. We exist. You should know about Tapovan Maharaj, the guru of Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Shivananda. You please read about him. He lived in Uttarkashi. Uttarkashi, a small place where I got to see when I had this Char Dham Yatra by Himalayas. He was a great sadhu, great sannyasi. In his later period, he was struck with some disease. Swami Chinmayananda himself comes and then asks, beseeches this Guru, this is not done. Let me take you to Delhi. He lives in a small village, Uttarkashi is a beautiful valley. You all come to India sometimes, okay? I'll take you to Himalayan villages. It would be nice. So it's a beautiful valley. And then, I got stuck with this vision of Uttarkashi. In this valley, I reached by night. Okay. There was a landslide. That's how you have to reach Himalayas. You have to get open with all the absurd situations. Okay. So there was a landslide. So I was stuck in the night. It is not stuck. It is that stuck that I am so stuck in that vision. I could see all the stars crystal clear. It was like being in another zone. Okay, coming back. So he says this Uttarkashi is a small village. You don't have proper hospitals here. Let me take you to Delhi, the capital, where the hospital facilities are fine and you have great doctors and you will be okay. What did the Tapovan Maharaj say? Why don't people die in those hospitals? Is there no death in those hospitals? You're taking me to non-death stage? Swami Chinmayananda was put to silence. So the bodies have to die. The Ghatakasha, the space inside the pot remains unaffected. Even the pot breaks to ashes. It is not intellectualizing over the situation, my dear people. Please don't intellectualize here. Saying that, okay, if I am in some disease, I should not take care of myself. Is that so? Is it a taboo to take care of body? No. Kalidasa says, Shariram Adhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhana. Body is the first and foremost prime vehicle through which you go to that spiritual destination. But, when the body is getting dropped by itself, right? You know where to stop putting efforts on this. My aunt uses this cream called Fair and Lovely. Okay. She is 3 times darker tone than mine. And she is in her 60s, 70s. You should calculate the number of Fair and Lovely tubes she had used in her lifetime. The company which claims people making it fair and lovely, I think the company itself is shut down. I don't find any more fair and lovely companies now. But she's never fair. She's the same dark old woman. You should know where you have to put stop putting efforts on your body. Considering only this to be precious, considering only this to be me, is the path to darkness, ignorance. Yes, this body I've got. What should I do with these eyes I have got? These sense organs, this mind I have got. What should I eventually do with this? How should I move inward and get great insights from within? That should be the purpose of this vehicle. Questions?